Sunday to everybody. Today, my show will be about the nursing hype. What is this nursing hype about? Advanced degree. So here's my, excuse me, here is my perspective about the whole thing. As you know, my channel is a go to site about the discrimination in nursing. So keep in mind that there are all forms of discrimination, and such as age, race, disability, sex, nationality, and gender. But I experienced a couple form of this discrimination. It is not legal to discriminate on the job, especially, and I don't take this lightly. I believe that everyone should have the right to an equal employment. So, my show today will, excuse me, address my perspective about this hype concerning the advanced degrees in nursing. And the advanced degrees, we're talking about a master, MSN, or a PhD in nursing. I am big on education, and I encourage anyone that wants to pursue knowledge to go as far as they can. Having a nursing education is one of the many opportunities that anyone can have to make a meaningful contribution to humanity. But does having an advanced degree in nursing makes a nurse a professional? Or, excuse me, should a nursing with advanced degree qualify for funding because she's a professional? Um, no, I don't think that anyone should tell me after I study nursing, even without an advanced degree. I don't have an advanced degree in nursing. I don't have an MSN. I don't have a master's, which is an MSN in nursing. I don't have a PhD in nursing. Um, so um, nobody though should be able to say I'm not a profession or not a professional. Um, I want to define what a profession of any school of thought is. So, according to Google, which is a reliable source, a profession is a specialized learned occupation requiring extensive education, a complex body of knowledge, and rigorous training, distinguished by a strong ethical code, a service orientation, serving the people, self regulation through a governing body, and societal recognition of its unified expertise, setting it apart from a regular job. Key elements include specialized skills, formal qualifications, degrees and licensures, um, and has the public trust to apply knowledge for others' benefits. So no one has to define if I'm a profession as a registered nurse. I am, I have a specialized learned occupation, including skills, a nursing degree. I am self regulated, and I participate in services to humanity. Through my trusted skill as an ICU and ER nurse, that's what a professional is. So, therefore, nursing is a profession. I don't need the government to tell me that whether I'm a profession or not a profession. I don't think that's what they're trying to do. That's really not what they're trying to do. In regards to advanced nursing degree, it's my opinion based on my experience and worldview that not everyone gets the opportunity for an advanced nursing degree, which is often self motivated and requires finance or um, financial backing. Now, I found some data that only 18% of nurses will advance to have a master's degree. And that's about 60 something thousand of the 4 million or 5 million nurses that we have right now. And only 3% of nurses will hold a PhD. And so that's what, a quarter of what holds a master's degree, but majority holds a basic nursing degree. I have thought about becoming a nurse practitioner, which requires a master's degree in nursing, but I would do so at my own expense because of discrimination in the nursing profession that has impacted or delayed my ability to go off and do my own finance nursing degree, secondary degree, or advanced degree. So when one is discriminated against in the nursing profession or unable to find a job, even when there is a shortage of, we're talking about 1,600 shifts per day or maybe per shift across this country. And there are a set of nurses that are being blacklisted from being in the profession, even though we hold valid licensure that is not affected by any negative effect, except we are being blacklisted. Nurses, black nurses, have not left the profession. They have not retired. Okay, they have not, and that should be changed. That information out there should be changed. There are nurses. I have a couple of my colleagues here tonight, and they will verify that to you that nurses, the black nurses, did not retire post COVID. They are probably have started their own business or sitting home cannot find a nursing job where they can practice their basic nursing skills. And if that doesn't hit you, or even those who are advocating for advanced nurses or nursing a degree, then I don't know what. We also see the discrimination recently of the black women um, who were denied care in the healthcare system. And I have not seen many nurses come out to address this issue. And that issue is vital. It's extensive. This is happening, across the country. If it's not the black nurses being discriminated, it's the black patients. That's what I think, that as a nurse body, I think that is something that we ought to come out to address publicly, and that would really serve the profession quite well. Um, as a worker prior to becoming a nurse, my employer contributed to my um, becoming or earning my nursing education, and where I earned my nursing degree. So I never took a loan. My education was fully paid for by my employer. But can you imagine that being a nurse, I have never had my employer offered me to pay for an advanced nursing degree. I believe that nurses who are in the profession for an extensive period of time, that could definitely slow the shortage in nursing. And that could also discourage those who come in the profession, work maybe a year or two, and then they go off to do an advanced degree. I believe that that's not a good plan. First, we're short about, I think, 5 million nurses by the next in the next 70 years. We need to come up with 5 million nurses more. And so the more nurses that remain at the bedside is the shortage will be manageable. Um, with the shortage of nurses in the US, I want to encourage anyone that have the heart to serve to come aboard. There is room for as 5 million nurses that is needed in the profession to serve the public. So I would encourage, now would be a great time for people to sign on. And I will leave my information, if you scroll down in the description, how you can reach out to me if you decide and you need someone to direct you. I have some colleagues here as well that they would be willing to speak with you. So I'm going to just share one more thought, and it's the length of time that you can complete your nursing education. It takes about 1 to 3 years if you were to become an RN, and that depends on if you have prior credits or if you have a degree, in whatever field there is. You can complete your nursing degree in just 1 year. And what about it for an LVN? That would take about 9 months to a year to complete um, a licensed nurse practitioner or an LVN degree, which is a licensed vocational nurse. And for CNA, that would be about 4 to 6 weeks. Or rather, I'm sorry, I believe it would be 4 to 6 months. So there is room, and there's a writing on the wall right now, because with this new rule where the government, which is a great supporter of anyone that wants to do nursing, there is so many loans. You have the HRSA loans that is the government um, passed in regards to the American Reinvestment Nurses Act. Um, this is money that's already there, set aside for anyone that wants to do their basic nursing. So I would encourage anyone that wants to do nursing, now is the time, because they may eventually decide to do away with all fundings for anyone who wants to become a nurse. Think about that. You nurses make very good money. They make very good money. And like I said, if I was to do an advanced degree, I wasn't planning to go to the government for a loan, because we make very good money. If we spend 3 years or 4 years at the bedside, there's a lot of things that we can benefit from: the experience, the knowledge. The more you care for the patients, is the more you become skilled and proficient in taking care of the public. So that's my thoughts about the whole thing. And I have three colleagues here. I would love for them to give a few words about this issue. How about you, Nurse V? Nurse V, how about you?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. I would encourage those who wants to become a nurse to look into a program and things like that, and those who are CNAs and LVNs, if they want to move up to the next level, I would encourage them to do it. So with all the rhetoric that's happening and everything, it's still it's probably still funding there and everything. There different types of funding. You can look online for scholarships and maybe look on websites of your congressperson
Yeah.
or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and see in the community they have any type of scholarships or schools that will help
Mm-hmm.
support you. Um, so nursing is a very good field to get into, and if you love people, you love helping people, and you have that servant, spirit about you,
Mm-hmm.
then I would recommend consider to get into nursing. Um, and the climate that's going on to get an advanced degree and
Mm-hmm.
the funding,
Yeah.
I hope, hopefully, the American Nurse Association, a lot of people are open their voices because we need advanced, skilled people in the field. We need nurse practitioners to continue to run the clinics and things like that because we don't have a lot of doctors. So nursing is vital in healthcare, very vital. You just can't, with the stroke of a pen, and say all these people is not a profession.
Yeah.
They got to think the whole thing through. And they think AI and all that is going to take over and robots take over and take care of people. No, you need physical hands on presence when you are dealing with people.
Yes.
Okay, to talk, engage, touch, um, presence. Um, people's presence is something about being another human being presence in another human being. Like
Mm-hmm.
with the thing
Humans.
with doctors assess
Yeah.
patients, virtually and all that. That's okay for a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
But when somebody got something going on
Hard. Yeah.
internally, you gotta
Hard
poke and
condition.
probe and all that and look
Yeah.
at somebody.
Right.
Look under the dress thing. And you got a really good visual to see what's going on, run some labs and all that. It's just not about being robotic. You got to use your critical thinking skills. You got to have that investigative, think about what's going on and everything. Look, observe, and all that. And use your seven senses.
Mm-hmm.
So, with all this professionalism, talk about funding. I think they should still fund it because it's vital that they don't change the profession. They up the money for people to go to school and get their advanced degrees. Because without nurses, a hospital can't run just with doctors because the doctors can't
They're
do what
never
we do.
there. Right.
They
Yeah.
cannot do what we do. You look at those shows on TV, like the doctor's always at the bedside. That's not reality.
Right.
Not
That's
reality
true.
at
Yeah.
all. That the doctors be at the bedside to watch you when and then when an emergency happens, the doctor's there to section up the vomiting of the patient or there to do CPR. Most of the time, it's the nurses that cause it. And the doctors
Yeah.
come running down the hall responding. It's the
Yeah.
nurse that's there at the bedside, unless the doctor just happened to walk by.
Right. Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
those TV shows don't portray the truth
The true
what
need.
goes
Yeah.
on in
True
a
healthcare.
hospital.
Right. Right. That's true.
Just glorify Hollywood. So I don't know what they're thinking up in Washington D.C. as to say nursing is not a profession and they list nursing. No, okay, I would like you to go to the hospital with no nurse and see what type of care you get.
That's
Okay,
right.
you
You
ain't got
need
to
the
see
nurses. Yeah. You need the
no
nurses.
CNA, no LVN, no RN, no advanced degree practice case managers or anything like that running the show. You get it's gonna be chaos.
Right, right. Well,
So
I want to make interject something here because you talked about advanced degree running the system. Um Most of those nurses who are advanced with advanced degrees, they really don't work on their own too. They're still nurses, but they work under the license of a medical doctor. So yeah, so I just want to make that clear. But they're needed. They're needed, like
and, and
Miss V
another
said.
thing,
Mm-hmm.
the American Medical Association has a say in it too. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if it's all about control. They do have some control as to what goes on in nursing because
Yeah.
we gotta work together. And the doctors can't do it all.
Right.
They
That's
can't.
true. Yeah.
They can't, and we
Mm-hmm.
need advanced degree nurses that need to fund it so to continue the training and everything that nurses need to come up.
Mm-hmm.
Because to qualify to be a teacher, you have to have your master's or your
Mm-hmm.
doctorates, depending which institution you're going to be working in.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they need to reconsider about this thinking. I don't know why they came up with that and what's the underlying motive as to why this came about. What
Well,
is the motive of
right.
this? What
Yeah.
is their motive? What are they trying to do?
Right.
What is the
I
motive?
think you know what I think based on what's been going on, right? Because in the last couple of months, we've noticed that nursing has been trending. Nursing is one of the leading sector of the healthcare. More people are hired as nurses than any other healthcare professional. So our department is one of the biggest, right? There's so many nurses to, let's say, respiratory therapists or physician assistants. There are more nurses, whether you have an advanced degree or not, right? So like I said, I think maybe why they did this is because of what has been trending. Imagine two patients that, I think three patients who were pregnant, went to a hospital, and the first person they met were nurses. And what happened? They were sent home. One had a baby on the way home. I mean, come on. That what does that tell you about the profession? Tell me. What does that tell the government about the profession? So I think stuff like that has impacted it. I really do. Yeah, because when they came out with this, it was like not even a week apart, couple days after this incident with the woman who went into that Texas hospital, and the nurse sat there not attending to her when she was already showing that actually she told them that her water broke, and water breaking means that the baby is imminent, and they still had her sit in a chair for 30 minutes. So come on, what do you say about a profession? I love nursing, but I'm just thinking that the type of people are coming in the profession, there needs to be some sort of, yeah, action, right? What about you, Miss Nurse Jones? Nurse Jones, Nurse Sharon,
Can
Nurse
you hear me?
Jones? Yeah, Nurse. Yeah, go ahead, Nurse Jones.
Well, I'm not really saying too much and
Okay.
everything, but I agree with what you're saying, and we need to continue with what needs to be this subject on. We
Yeah.
need to say
Mm-hmm.
more about nursing other than the friends that we don't have right now. We
Mm-hmm.
need the
Okay.
friends that we do have now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Say more
The,
about what's happening here now.
the support.
The
Exactly.
support, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah. Support is needed. Yeah, in the profession, and I see
Yes,
that.
we
I
do.
see the support because even everybody comes forward and they're advocating for the advanced degrees, to maintain that professional aspect of the degree and to get the full loan that is needed for so many who may not be in the position to pay for it on their own. But like I said, if nurses, like I had my education paid for, if a nurse put in that much time on her job, the job would pay for it. So I think there needs to be attention into the requirements in who gets to do it, who gets to study and get the loans. If they decide, okay, we're going to keep it the way it is, then I think there should be some changes made on the qualification. You can't have a nurse who went into nursing for 1 year and they want to go practice when they have loans already from the previous studies that they have done, the basic nursing, and then you got loans piling up on loans. Come on, let's put this. Let's be practical, right? Let's be practical. If you spend So let's say 3 years on your job, I believe your job will pay for your nursing education. Yeah. And that will cut down on the loans that you may have to take out. So that's just my opinion on the whole thing. You know, yeah, I was on my job for 7 years before I became a nurse, and they paid for my education. And I know that's one of the benefits still today. Jobs, they will pay for your education. A lot of the nurses, yeah, a lot of the nurses coming in nursing, they want to do the advanced degree because they don't want to take care of the patients at the bedside. You know, Miss Nurse Shay, what do you say about the whole thing? Um, nurse, the other nurse, yeah, Nurse Shard. Okay, she's not available. Um, but basically, to conclude or to wrap this up, I really don't see what is the hype about whether um, the profession should be maintained for loan purposes. We are all professionals. If we were trained and spend extensive time to practice our skill in the profession, and I want to say that nurses who have experienced the discrimination in the profession of nursing, are some of the most experienced. And today, many of us are not able to find work because we have been blacklisted. And that has to be addressed. And it has not. I don't see the ANA has come out against a policy that they called the DNR policy, which is basically the tool for discrimination. And it's illegal. It is illegal. That needs to go. That needs to go. What do you say about that,
You
Or?
need to. Hi, I hate to interrupt, but you need to say what DNR stands for because a lot of people don't know what that
Okay.
means.
Okay. Do you want to explain that, Miss Nurse B?
Well, I'll just say that the DNR is do not sin, and even though it doesn't mean what it means in medical terminology,
Mhm.
it means that if somebody works on the contract or on or through an agency, then they get placed on the do not sin status. That means that nurse, somebody from the hospital calls the registry or the agency where you're working for and say, we don't want this person to come back at this facility no more. No explanation or anything. They just say, you can do everything right. And they have an article out about the do not sin by a lady named Corville, I think, a while back. And
Genevieve
she
Corville. Yeah.
yeah, Genevieve, and she had wrote a very article about that.
Hmm.
About that was going on,
Yeah.
and everything. What has been going on,
Mm.
and so this has been going on, and they don't give no reason because in the state of California, it's an at-will still state, so they can get away with certain things, but it's really ridiculous, and this is happening nationwide. you
Yeah.
know
Hmm.
a lot of people I have worked with had been DNR, one time, and they don't know why. When you go back and ask, to bring some lame excuse, but that's another whole subject, and that's violating your pursuit of happiness, your pursuit of rights as a person in employment.
Yeah.
So that's
Right.
all I'm going to say about that right now.
Right. Thank you so much, Nurse V. So yeah, so in a nutshell, the DNR is it applies to visiting nurses who go into a healthcare facility to fill the shifts that they have available. That I mentioned earlier, there are some 16, I would say 1,600 shifts that is available across the country, any particular shift or day in nursing. And when they you know unfairly um place the names of nurses on a list for no reason. It's just appears to be discriminatory. And it is found that it's being done to the African American nurses mostly, and it would be mostly females. So um
Yes,
um
I'd like to say something before you
oh,
say
sure.
that.
Yeah,
But
go ahead by all means,
this,
Nurse Jones.
uh, my name is Linda. But
Linda.
a lot of this is coming from your supervisors here at the
Yeah.
workplace. The
Mm-hmm.
supervisor of nursing.
Mm-hmm.
Supervisor.
Yeah, yeah. The supervisors, which are usually it's administrative.
Yes, they are.
They have the final say on whether this nurse should not return, and knowing that there's no grounds for the putting that nurse on a list not to return. And then another aspect of that is they pass this around to other maybe other agencies and other hospitals, and that's what makes it discriminatory. So yeah,
Yes.
so that has to be addressed, and I have not heard the ANA address that as yet, and we have been on
Yes,
here
and
for.
we would like to. And that type of behavior, that type of
Yeah,
behavior
go
does
ahead.
not makes the profession that makes the profession seem unprofessional when you
Yeah.
have administration charge nurses placing nurses on the do not return list because they passed a late tray. They didn't pass the dinner tray. They came to work. They had the wrong color uniform on. They didn't like the way their hair was. Mm-hmm. That makes it unprofessional. What other professional do you know
that does
where
that.
employees are yeah, that does that, where employees are fired
Seriously.
just because they're not a team player after showing up one time on the job,
Right,
and doing everything correct.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
patient complaints, but everything's done correct. Patient's still alive. No, not endangering the patient life, but you happen to be not a team player or not a fit. So you're DNR and banned for life from working.
Yeah,
Right.
DNR for life, meaning that it's impacting
that is
us.
unprofessional.
That's
Not a professional.
unprofessional.
That's
Yeah,
unprofessional.
yeah. And this is the same profession that is talking about they're mad or upset about advanced degree, and the very basic human relationship amongst nurses, as a team, a profession is missing. It really makes the profession looks it's not a good reflection for
No,
one.
it's not.
Yeah. So the
No, it's not.
DNR policy has to be addressed. And I believe that the ANA is aware of it, and
Yes, they are.
they have not addressed it. Okay, so
we'll leave that here right
yeah.
now. Okay.
Nurse
No.
Nurse
No, no.
Science? No. Okay. Oh,
We're done.
we've come to the end of the
A lot of the OB nurses that's trained.
Mhm. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, Sharon.
You can unmute.
And unmute my.
Oh, I think she's muted. Yeah, go ahead, Sharon.
She got the mic mute. She had it unmute.
Oh, okay. Okay, so my nurse colleague here, she wanted to say something about a lot of the nurses who are you there? Oh yeah, she's back. Oh, she's mute again. Okay, so yeah, that thought what she had, I'm not sure what it was, but I'm asking her to unmute herself. Nurture. Okay, so basically, until she gets back on, I just want to say, go ahead now, Sharon. I don't know what's going on with her mic, but
Something wrong with the phone or
yeah,
something.
yeah, we're on the Zoom. They're on the Zoom. You're not able to see them, but we're able to. They're audible. Yeah. So the DNR is a problem, and it doesn't show the professionalism of the nursing profession. Because if you have a shortage in nursing, but yet you putting nurses on a list for no reason, then we got a problem. We got a problem. You're denying patients the care that they need by saying we don't have enough nurses. And that is a big, big problem. Yeah.
Okay. All
right. So we've come to the end, and I want to express my gratitude to all my subscribers who have been a support to this channel, and I've been on uh, regularly since July, and we're now in December. So yeah, I want to thank you for your support, and for those who have not yet subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you again on the next Sunday. Thank you. Happy Christmas season. Take care. Bye bye.